Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to another episode of In the Streets of Medina, where we learn life lessons from the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In today's episode, inshallah, we will be discussing the Battle of Khandaq, also known as Ghazwatul Ahzab. Khandaq meaning trench, and this is the famous battle where the Muslim army builds a trench in preparation against the Quraysh and the oncoming armies. So before you have a picture of Jami' Khandaq. It's a big masjid that's located outside in the city of Medina. It's about a short distance away from Masjid al-Nabawi, but the big masjid is there to facilitate the salah for the locals and the population that has grown in that area. Unfortunately, the trench is no longer there, but we do have a map that highlights how and where the trench was built. So when we have the main city of Medina, it was surrounded in two big areas by lava flows, as is marked on the map. We can think of that as black molten rock, which was not conducive to having a large army move across it. And in the same way, there are tree-covered areas, which is also not conducive for a large army to cross across it. This way, the Muslims were able to build a trench in one area that protected them from the army of 10,000 that were coming against them. And this trench was very strategically placed, and it was something revolutionary to the Arabian Peninsula, where the Prophet ﷺ came to hear of this large army of 10,000 coming to attack Madinah al-Munawwara. He does shura with the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in, and Salman al-Farsi gives this suggestion: "Oh Ya Rasulullah, where we come from, the people of Furs, when we can't fight the enemy, we build a trench. We stop them from even coming close to us." And that's what they did. The size of this trench is about 1,100 yards. So just to give a mental image of that, it's about 11 football fields, right? That's pretty long. And this is they do all of this without the use of machinery and heavy equipment. They are able to do this only with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a matter of short days before the army is upon them. And over here, in this picture, I have pointed out two specific smaller hut-looking places. This is the location of where the commanders of the army were. So the certain commanders were given the task of overlooking the rest of the army in construction of this trench. So this is where their camps were based, and this area is generally known as Sab'a Masajid, as there are a number of small masajid, which were really the campsites for the generals of the army. The big takeaway from the Battle of Khandaq is having tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while taking the means necessary. The famous hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam: tie your camel and have tawakkul. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam takes the means necessary of building a trench, and he makes dua in extreme need to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 3 days consecutively. And the Muslims are in a state of difficulty and uncertainty, but the Prophet ﷺ is continuous and strong-willed in his dua, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers his dua on the third day with the angel Jibreel coming and giving glad tidings of victory to the Prophet ﷺ. And heavy winds and gusts come and they destroy the camp of the disbelievers, making them abandon their camp, abandon hope. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us sabr in our dua and allow us to continue to stay strong and stay fortified and not lose hope while taking the means necessary. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.